Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here in Div 3 in Canada. We're waiting for drivers to get their setups up and come out onto track. And let's see who can put in the fastest time today. So, Matron Day is the first car out on track. So he'll put the benchmark of the lap time around Canada today. Good evening, Melissa. How well do you think Keith is going to do tonight then? Wishful thinking. Yeah, I hope so. I hope Keith can do well tonight. I'm hoping everybody can do well tonight. So here comes... Yeah, to be fair, it's not my favourite track either. Canada, especially this hairpin right here, I do not like it. So here comes Mitch and Day into the last two chicanes, and over the line he puts in a 1 minute 10.0. So that is the benchmark for this quali at the moment tonight. And his teammate Probelli puts in a 1:10.7, so 7 tenths off his teammate's pace. And Keeps with a 109.8 goes fastest. Keeps looking... Good evening, Lewis. Look, Keeps looking strong already despite this not being his favourite track. Who else is on a lap? Energy Dan also... Oh. Scanny going 109.6. So he's gone 2 tenths quicker than Keeps at the moment. Just had to invite Udkosh back to the lobby as he got kicked out. Both Red Bulls right behind each other, both on and out lap. So I wonder if they're going to work with each other to try and push themselves up into the front pack. So we'll stay on board with Cassidy for now and see what he can produce. He goes quickest in the first sector out of everyone so far as well. So that's good, looking good. Emil should take this top Div 2 driver. I mean, I've not really watched him race to be fair, and I'm not the admin for Div 2. MDJ is. But he does go quicker than Scanny, but only by 5,000ths of a second. And Jake Boy's debut tonight, I think, goes over the line with a 109.9. We just moved up the leaderboard then. And Cassidy with a 5-second penalty, or was that a grid penalty? I wasn't watching. So that's gonna affect him. Mitch and Deer already retiring from the session. No one has a quali ban as far as I'm aware. So here comes Utkosh over sector 1 line. He definitely does have enough PRS to just dump it on this long straight before the last 2 corners, which are quite quick. But he bails out and goes into the pits. Let's go on board with Emils. Actually, no, let's go. No, Babelli is already drives in the second tier in Norwegian League. With oh right, okay. I'll have to see how he does. So let's see if Emils can improve on his first lap. He does improve in Sector 1. Yeah, apparently he is in Div 3 now. I don't know when that got changed, Adams. I honestly don't know. I don't know when that got changed, Adams. I generally don't know. Cassidy the 10th up on his Sector 1 time now, so he's improving. Let's see if we can keep it clean for the rest of his lap. Just a trial, he said today. Oh, okay then. Here comes Cassidy over the line. Let's see if he can improve into P2. No, he actually goes quickest with a 109.3, so 3 tenths quicker than Emils. And Halvor, 7 tenths quickest. No, that's wrong. He's already in bad day it is. Lap. And Cassidy seemed to have stopped on the track to let the Ferrari past of Mr. Wiggles, who is about to start his second lap. Udkash over the line with a 1 minute 10.5. Let's see if Mr. Wiggles can improve on his lap time. He's improved his Sector 1 time by almost 2 tenths. So how come Emils is trialling out Div 3 races then? Because he is quite a quick driver as well. And Mr. Wiggles going 4 tenths quicker in Sector 2. So could we see Mr. Wiggles on provisional pole for the time being? No, but he does go up into 6th though, ahead of Mitch and Deere. Energy Dan though, 3 tenths quicker in Sector 2. And Energy Dan, ooh, it's quite close between both Mercedes though. I'll be happy with that for now. Basically identical lap times. else is on a lap time? Belly, he's on a lap. He's gone 2/10 quicker in his sector 1 time from his first lap. With some of these corners around Canada, you can attack them very aggressively to gain time. But it is always that hairpin, which is a really slow corner. Oh, and keeps his left. I don't know if he's got a internet issue, I'm not sure. I shall see what's going on. I wonder if we might be seeing a lobby restart for the race. Yeah, I can. But he has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. So that is qualifying over for him. Right, so who else is on a lap? And Mills, though, improves his lap time and goes quickest. I wonder if anyone else is going to have a response to his lap time. At the moment, Mills is on provisional pole for the race start. Who else is on a lap time? And that is qualifying over. I'm just going to see what's going on with Keeps, see if he's okay, and if we can get back into the lobby. Yeah, I don't know why he's trying out Div 3 when he knows he's quick. Let me just quickly invite Keeps back, but we might be seeing a lobby restart. Take a screenshot of this just in case. Yeah, he's not that far back, but he does have a 5 grid penalty though. So we'll be down into P7, unfortunately. So everybody up to P6, I think, will move up. Right, short intermission, guys. We are restarting lobby because Keith cannot get back in. So as we're waiting for a new lobby, I'll go through the provisional standings as they are at the moment. So Pabelli on 204 points, he is leading the championship so far. Energy Dan on 200 points. Keith's on 194. Scanny on 182. Wiggles on 172. Halver on 161. Stank on 154. Ellie on 147, who is not racing tonight, probably due to staying late at work. Cassidy on 133 points. Abdellaman on 101. Ronnie on 96. Mitchell Dill on 93. Oyagas on 92. Ukosh on 67. Speedy on 65.5. Don't know how you work that out, but okay. Matty on 50. Martin on 39. Spider on 19. And Omar Gaming on 9 points. So the championship fight is quite close between Pabelli, Energy Dan, Keith and Scanny. Oh, God. Sorry about this, people. We're having a bit of technical difficulties by the looks of it in Div3 general chat. Stop moving. Oh my god. Basically, Keeps was session host, but he got kicked out randomly. So we are trying to restart the lobby. I don't know actually. I'll ask now. Yeah, so let's hope for an epic grace if we can get the lobby going again. But it is just a waiting game at the moment. Let me see if PSN network is down. No, PlayStation Network services are up and running. So, what is going on? There we go. Mr. Wiggles to the rescue. So whilst we wait for the lobby to get going again, who watched the Bahrain race last night? Well, yesterday. How was it? I know Piastri won, but that's all I know at the moment. Why did he have to retire? I mean, to be fair, last week for Japan, that was just a boring race. I can't lie. Well then, that'll do it. Oh my god. We're just waiting on Yukash to get into his car, but who knows where he is. Right, we're getting on the way now, after waiting for Yukash. I think he left actually. What? Oh my days. Oh my god. Right, back to the race then with the formation lap after the lobby restarting due to Keith getting kicked out unexpectedly. So here's the formation lap where every driver will warm up their tyres and their brakes. So yeah, it looked like in the OG lobby, when we didn't have to restart, it looked like the race was going to be completely dry. In Mills, though, he is putting his car at an angle to cover off Cassidy off the start, so he doesn't get the outside lane on the first corner and then the inside. That's smart thinking from a Mills. Let's see if he can make it pay off. I kept my end of the deal then. What do you mean you kept your end of the deal? Oh, I see. So here's 5 red lights, and we're underway for the Canadian Grand Prix in Div 3. Mills though with a great start, but his car on an angle to cover off Cassidy. That is a excellent move to do. Both Haas drivers though battling on the first opening lap of this race. Let's hope they don't fight too much, because Pabelli is fighting for the championship with Energy Dan. 4 points separating both of them in the championship as well. But Energy Dan and Keith though, they will be working together to get a good result tonight. Let's just hope they can actually pay it off. Not much action going on at the moment, but let me see the tyre situation. So we've got Emils, Wiggles, Energy Dan, Halvor, Jake Boy, Matty and Oyaglass all on mediums, but Martin though, he comes straight into the pits at the end of lap 1 and retires. But Emils, Cassidy and Wiggles are all close together. Only 2 tenths separating the top 3. As you can see, Cassidy and Emils bumper drafting in F1 cars. Ever since I am my life of watching F1. But here comes that Cassidy on Emils with his DRS wide open on the long straight. And here comes Wiggles as well. And Cassidy with a 3-second time penalty already for multiple warnings. But Cassidy with the fastest lap. I mean, you can't really blame the admins, really. Maybe next time if you do get a phone call, just choose your car. And you wouldn't be having this issue. I understand that you have to take important phone calls and stuff, but you do need to choose your car. It doesn't matter what car you are in. All I'm saying is you needed to choose your car. But Wiggles though, overtaking Cassidy. Mr. Wiggles with the fastest lap of the race so far. Not much action going on at the back end of the field. It's all action in the top 3 at the moment. But Mr. Wiggles is pulling away from Cassidy and Mills. I think Hourglass is also struggling for pace because he's only 3 seconds behind the whole pack. So I wonder what's going on there. Scally though with the fastest lap, and Cassidy re-overtaking Wiggles for the lead of this race. Cassidy also needs to be careful so he doesn't gain any more penalties. To be honest, Ucas, they didn't ban you from every race, just this one. But to be fair, I think it's a bit harsh, but anyway, we move on. Here comes Wiggles again with this DRS wide open, and Cassidy's vulnerable. Is he looking for a move? No, he is not. He's going to stay behind and possibly try and re-overtake in the next DRS zone. Which he is doing, and he gets the move done before the apex. Nicely done with Wiggles. It is really close between the top 5 though. All within a second of each other. Keeps needs to try and catch up to this train so we can get a DRS. Scally was looking for a move on Energy Dan then, but couldn't get it done. But Cassidy looking for a move on Mr. Wiggles, but Cassidy almost loses the back end. And Harvard with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. The Scally looking for a move on Energy Dan. He is sticking it on the outside. They're still side by side. I wonder who will get DRS. Scally though does make a mistake, which leaves him vulnerable to keeps. Papelli though overtakes Keiths in the DRS zone. So Papelli on the charge to catch up to Energy Dan, his championship rival so far in season 17 in Div 3. Cassidy making a move on Mr. Wiggles once again. And also gets DRS in the next DRS zone. So it does make him edge that further away from Mr. Wiggles. And Energy Dan with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for exceeding track limits. So that's also going to affect him now, unless he can pull away from everybody. And then Mills also picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Did Cassidy make a mistake? I did not see him make a mistake. I was wondering where he went. He was P2 and then he suddenly dropped down to P11. Let's see if he can make up his positions again. Mr. Wiggles going slow. Which brings Energy Dan up to P2 now, right behind the Mills. Energy Dan though. Ooh, that was not a very tidy overtake from Energy Dan then. But he does get a lead. Which also does bring his teammate up into P2. So I wonder if his teammate might help Energy Dan out. But knowing Keiths, he probably won't. And Mr. Wiggles with a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Some corners on car can punish you, to be fair. But Keith's all over the back of his teammate Energy Dan. I wonder if Keiths might look for an overtake on Energy Dan on this long straight with DRS wide open. He is gaining and gaining. And does he get a move done? Yes, he does. And Skelly and Energy Dan fighting for P2. But Skelly can't quite get a move done as he has a snap of his rear end snapping out of him. Which leaves him vulnerable to a Mills once again. Close battles though, between everybody. But Keiths has pulled out a DRS zone. So I wonder if Energy Dan has made a mistake somewhere. And Halvor with a 3-second time penalty. But Belly has made a mistake somewhere which drops him back down to P10. Mills overtaking Energy Dan for P3. But Energy Dan might look at re-overtaking him in the next DRS zone, which is coming up in Sector 2. And Halvor with another 3-second time penalty. Let's have a look at the time penalties. So with Mills, Energy Dan, Wiggles and Cassidy all on 3 seconds, and Halvor on 9 seconds. But Keith's in first place with a 1.6 second gap. Despite this not being his favourite track, he is doing some clean racing and good driving. Oh, and keeps losing the back end as he's coming out of the apex. Which puts Scary into the lead and Emil's into second. So I wonder when we're going to see the medium runners come into the pits. I'm unsure of the tyre situation around Canada. I don't really do much racing around here. But Scary in a comfortable lead at the moment with a 1.5 second gap. And keeps looking for an overtake on Mills and gets it done. As Mills comes into pits to come onto the hard compound tyre, I wonder. And he does indeed. And Aria Glass coming into the pit lanes to come onto the hard compound tyres as well. And Halvor on for belly Barlin. And Halvor picks up another time penalty, but I don't think that was his fault, to be fair. Energy Dan overtaking Mr. Wiggles on the long straight with DRS. But Mr. Wiggles might answer back and re-overtake him. But he doesn't get DRS though. Energy Dan does. As the DRS detection point is in sector 2 for both of those DRS zones. Matty and Jake Boy have paired onto the hard compound tyres. So we are starting to see all the medium runners on 14 laps old tyres come into the pit lane now. To come onto the hard compound tyres. So we'll probably see Mr. Wiggles, Energy Dan and Halvor come into the pits at the end of this lap. Or will they stay out for another lap, I wonder. We shall wait and find out. Hello, Ellie. Pascali, though, leading the race comfortably with almost a 2-second gap with Keith behind him. You think OW guys are underperforming? Well, I mean, you've got Pabelli in third. Energy Dan and Wiggles, though, in the pits for the hards. And Keith picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Scotty might be looking at that leaderboard on his top left and seeing Keith with a 3-second time penalty and might be thinking of, I could probably relax for a bit. But you also got a hard charging Probelli as well, who doesn't have a time penalty. But Probelli is 5 seconds behind the leader, so actually no, he's 8 seconds. And Mr. Wiggles picks up another 3-second time penalty. So let's see the penalty situation now. Keith's, Emil's Energy Dan, and Matty all on 3. And then you've got Mr. Wiggles and Cassidy on 6. And Halvor on 12. But that the most recent time penalty which Halvor got might be taken off because that was not really his fault. He was battling for a position with a Haas driver, which did push him wide. But we'll see what the stewards have to say about that. So the closest battle we've got at the moment is between Energy Dan and Mr. Wiggles. Emil's picking up another 3-second time penalty, but here comes Mr. Wiggles on Energy Dan and gets the move done before the apex. And we also do have another close battle between Cassidy and Jake Boy. So the only people who haven't paid so far is the top 3, but they are on hard compound tyres. So they could probably go at least to lap 22 or 23 on these tyres. Or they might choose to pay in earlier. Well, here comes Jake Boy on Cassidy though. In the turn 1 and 2. Can Jake Boy get the move done? The answer is yes, he can. But Cassidy has probably played this smart and backed off because he knows the next DRS detection point is now. Any overtakes being done at the moment? No. But Matty might be looking at for an overtake on Energy Dan if he can get a good exit. Halvor with another 3-second time penalty. That's 15 seconds in total now. So no good race for Halvor tonight. But Keith and Pirelli are now pitted to come onto the medium compound of tyres. So I wonder if they're going to try go for an undercut on Scani. But I don't know if that's going to work though. Because everybody who has previously pitted well before them has now re-overtaken them. But Keith though, he did come out of the pits in P5 and is also on the quickest tyres and the freshest tyres. So let's see if he can get past Matty Wiggles and the Mills as quick as possible. But Scani though, 16 seconds up the road ahead of the Mills. So he is leading this race, absolutely comfortable. I'm sure his teammate Ellie will be impressed with his performance so far tonight. But Keith does overtake Matty though, which brings him up into P4. And he can see Mr. Wiggles in front of him. It's just about catching him up now. And Sky does eventually come into the pit lane for the medium compound tyres. I wonder where he'll come out. He will come out just behind Keith, someone thought. And he does. No, Mr. Wiggles actually. He stays in front of Keith's. So at the moment, Scani is in the provisional lead because the front two do have time penalties. So if Scani can stay in P3 and hold off Keith's and stay under 3 seconds with the two in front, Scani could be looking at winning the Canadian Grand Prix tonight. But Sky does have Keith's right behind him. So Keith's might be looking at trying to overtake Scani. So Keith's can charge ahead, try and increase his gap with him having a 3-second time penalty as well. But Sky does overtake Mr. Wiggles, and Mr. Wiggles does get a 3-second time penalty. And so does Energy Dan as well. So Sky are looking comfortable on his medium compound tyres, and Gasly's back into the pit onto the softs. So he did save a soft compound tyre in quali, so he might be trying to go for the fastest lap, or trying to push hard for the last 10 laps of this race. This race has flown by, despite having technical difficulties before. But Sky though, he does look fast, he's already closed the gap. And he is overtaking Mills. And he is now back into the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix now. And he also sets the fastest lap of the race. Jake Boy might be looking at a podium as well. Yeah, he could be looking at a podium as well, Jake Boy. But the top four all close together again. This can be anybody's race still. But Cassidy puts in the fastest lap, but he is also on the soft compound tyres. Mr. Wiggles overtakes Mills for P2. But Mills might re-overtake Mr. Wiggles on this straight if Mills does have DRS. Keeps jumping straight into P2. So I wonder what happens with Mr. Wiggles and Mills. I wonder if their tyres are starting to wear off and Keeps and Scotty might just fly ahead with this race. But it is all to play for still. Mitchell Day picks up a 3-second time penalty. Mr. Wiggles picks up another 3-second time penalty. So let's have a look at the time penalties now. Keeps on 3 seconds. So he might stay in P2. But Mr. Wiggles, though, will be dropping down the order quite a bit at the end of the race. Emils with 9 seconds. Eddie Dan with 6. Matty and Fabelli and Mitrinde on 3. Alvo on 21 seconds. Not sure what's going on there. And Cassidy on 6 seconds. Also, Glass with a 3-second time penalty. So the only 2 drivers who don't have a time penalty yet is Scanny and Jake Boy. But there is still plenty of time for them both to pick up a time penalty. So they both have to be careful. But Sky, though, he is comfortably leading this race with a 3.2 second gap. Yeah, 10 out of 12 people in this race have got time penalties. So we could potentially see Jake Boy on the podium, but I'm not sure. I'm not working Matt Hour this time of the night. We'll just have to see in 5 laps time. But Matty overtakes Jake Boy. It's honestly hard to predict who will get second and third in this race. Oh, and Scanny gets a 3-second time penalty. But he is 3.5 seconds ahead though. And Mr. Wiggles does have 12 seconds and Emils has 9. It's genuinely hard to know who gets second and third in this race. I think Scanny might still get a virtual safety car. What happened to Wiggles? He's lost both front end blades on his front wing. So that's gone horribly wrong for Mr. Wiggles. VSC will be ending shortly. It really doesn't last long. But Scally is still 3.6 seconds ahead, so he might still win this race, despite having 3 seconds. So this might have brought Jake Boy in to play for a podium on his debut with that VSC coming out. But we will have to wait and see at the end of lap 35. Keith overtakes Mills for P2 at the moment. But I've got to say, this has been a really good race to watch and commentate on. Despite every single driver pretty much getting a time penalty, but it's been a good race. But Sky does have to put his foot down on the floor if he wants to secure his victory on this race tonight. Because Keith is catching up, but I think Keith's got 6 seconds. So Keith can't win, but he might still get a podium, but I'm not sure. As Mr. Wiggles does also pick up a time penalty. But here we come across the finish line to start the final lap of this race, where we will see some changes on the leaderboard, or whatever you want to call it. But here comes Scanny on. To be honest, Prep, I don't know who's even getting a podium. I know Scanny's probably won this race, but it's honestly hard to say who's actually going to get a podium. There's no way everybody's got. Oh my god. But there's your standings. So Scanny, Keeps and the Mills all on the podium. I also need to invite Mills to the party. And there you have it. There are your top 3 drivers for the podium. Scally, Keeves and the Mills. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. No driver interviews tonight due to the lobby restart, because everybody has to rush off due to work or whatnot. But I will catch you all hopefully next week for, let me see what race it is. It is Miami next week, so let's hope for a good race there. Yep. Goodbye, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.